What you watching these days, man?
So right now I am just for like shits and giggles, still going through my like a spot rewatch of How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Um, the final season of have you heard of that show You on Netflix?
With the stalker dude,
Yeah.
I watched the first season
Uh,
and kind of fell off.
got you. So it's the last season. That's out now. I'm like halfway through it. It's actually much better than the last season. The last season was trash. They tried to do like a Fight Club style like twist, and it didn't work very well. This season's crazy. So far. So I'm about halfway through that. So probably get through that this week at some point. That's what I've been watching. Honestly, just watching like hoops a lot because playoffs hoops it's been
Yeah.
ball every night. So
Literally every night. I mean, I pretty much as I just been watching basketball constantly. The Last of Us is still in rotation.
yeah.
Well, I'm reading a book about, I mean, this is quite an esoteric area of interest, but it's like about
Hmm.
bipedalism and how as humans, as mammals walking on 2 feet, the evolutionary advantages that gave us. I'll spare the
Hmm.
audience the details, but that's about 100 pages into that, which is book
Okay.
617 on the year. So I'm trying to hit 40 this year,
Okay.
which means to keep pace, I need 20 by the end of June, and I think I'll be able to hit four. I fell off for a little bit during the spring. It got nice
Yeah.
out, so but
I feel you.
so I try to allot about an hour a day of just quiet time to knock out some pages. So that's what I'm doing as
Hmm.
far as what I'm reading. Um, and this podcast I was listening to this new podcast called well, I subscribed to it, but the first episode I found was him talking about why Rome actually fell and how it was mostly just like disease and climate
Okay.
change and how that's an underrated factor to
Hmm.
why civilizations collapsed. You know, germ theory is I
Interesting.
don't even think 200 years old. So before that, like disease was just like just would just destroy civilizations and no one would know what
Yeah.
was going
Everybody. Yeah.
on. So my personal belief is that it's the core to a lot of people's religious beliefs because when people just start rotting around you, you have to ascribe some reason behind that. So,
Right.
so that's kind of what I'm into these days. And just a lot of hoops, man.
Okay.
Who you got? I guess we're gonna talk sports later.
Yeah.
But
I still got some
yeah,
books if you wanna.
would you
Okay.
say?
So I said I still got some books
No, go
shit
for
that
it.
I've been reading. Um. I have like my paper books and I got like my digital stuff, but I've kind of been taking a break from that just because I've been busy with like work and the gym and the pod and stuff. So I started doing audiobooks. Um, it's funny because it feels like cheating, but it actually is like super helpful, and and it really allows you to multitask. So I just like listen to those like podcasts when I work because I just pretty much type for 8 hours a day.
Yeah, it's different.
Um,
It's
yeah, it takes some getting used to for sure.
I am not opposed to audiobooks, but I do
Yeah,
think reading is sort of like yoga for the mind. So I
for
don't think
sure.
it's a one-to-one substitute, but like,
Right,
you could be listening to nonsense. So there's always
right.
degrees to it, right? Like, if do I
Yeah,
want kids watching a lot of television? No, but if it's PBS, that's better than Rugrats. There's
right.
degrees to it. So no, I don't have
Yeah,
any
so
moral objection to audiobooks. It's just.
right. And so I've just finished the audiobook Deathly Hallows. That was like a 40 hour uh file, but 40-hour listen.
That's how you know you stole the shit.
No,
40
no, I
hour
really paid
file.
for it. No, I really paid. No, I really did
What
pay for it.
torrent site
Well,
did you
actually,
use to get that
well,
audiobook?
actually, that's a lie. I didn't pay for it. So there, so there's an app that you use to like for audiobooks called Audible, whatever. Y'all check it
Yeah.
out. And I got like the free trial, and then it'll kick in. We'll draw like whatever much per month in like 3 weeks or whatever, and then you get like one free credit first, like for your first book, or whatever. So I just went ahead and downloaded that. Um, Finished that a couple days ago. I went ahead and got the first Game of Thrones book,
It's,
which actually is pretty
a
cool.
Game
So
of Thrones is literally what's called.
well, yeah, Game of
Yeah.
Thrones, yeah. For the listeners who haven't read the series or whatever.
Yeah.
So what is really dope is so Kindle and Audible, they can connect.
Yeah.
So if I'm reading a book, like if I'm reading it on Kindle and I'm on a certain page, the Audible will sync to that page and then pick back up and vice versa, which is kind of cool. So you can just kind of go back and forth, whenever you have time.
I tell people all the
Uh,
time when they say that like they prefer like the physical book, and I'm like, I understand that, but I promise you,
but
you
it's so
probably
much
just
more
don't
convenient
have.
to
But yeah,
not
you
have it.
just.
It's so
I
much more
feel like
convenient.
you
It
only
is.
say that because you've never tried using a Kindle. It
Yeah.
it's just it's like saying you prefer horseback riding versus getting in a car. Like it's just
Cars. Yeah.
it's just the technology is so much more advanced and more like
Like that's cool until you got to go 10 miles in the winter.
correct. It's like, man, just being able to highlight a passage and just pull it up on my
Hmm.
phone when I'm nowhere near my Kindle 3 weeks
Right.
later, just
Yep.
off the rip, like it's just so nice. But sorry,
It
continue
really
what
is.
you were saying.
Um, yeah, so I'm doing that right now. And then today I just went ahead and got the Great Gatsby on Audible.
Okay.
So I'll probably do that tomorrow at some point during work. That's only like a 4.5 hour book.
I
So
think that book
I'll
is actually no longer IP protected, so it's like free. You have to pay for the
that,
paper, and that's it. But like you don't, it's over like 100 years old, so the copyright has
yeah.
lapsed. It's in the
Well,
public domain. Is
well, if
kind of
that's the
what they
case,
say.
then I got robbed because I definitely paid for it.
Well, the audiobook is
Um,
different because it's
oh well,
like,
yeah, 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 true,
but
true.
like I bought
Um,
W.E.B. Du Bois, The Souls of Color Folk, The Sound of Color
mhm,
Folk, and I paid like $1 for it because you have to pay for the paper,
yeah,
and the
got you.
binding. But like the actual
Right.
intellectual property is public domain. So because
Yeah.
it's over a
But by the
hundred
way,
years
did you,
old.
yeah, that's true. Also, did you know there's a theory that Gatsby is actually black
Yeah,
and he was just white passing?
I think Wesley Lowery wrote something about that. Uh, like a professor brought that up.
Hmm.
I think so. Maybe you told me about it, but yeah, I
I think
mean,
I might have actually. Yeah. I remember there was like a
I can
trending
see
topic on
it.
TikTok a couple years ago. It went viral. Yeah, because like they say like the yellow car is a metaphor for him being high yellow. They mentioned him having low cropped hair. That would explain the random racist rants by Tom Buchanan. You know what I'm saying, shit like that. So I'm looking forward to going back in it and just like because I haven't read it as an adult, but it's one of my favorite
I haven't
movies. I
read
love
it
the
in a minute.
um yeah, I haven't read it since I was like 16, 17, whatever. But I love the movies because there's the version with Robert Redford and then there's the version with Leo DiCaprio. Um,
See how
and I've
much
seen
it
them both, and
is.
the DiCaprio is one of my favorite movies actually. So it'd be nice to kind of pick up on some of the shit that I don't notice as didn't notice as a kid, you know, because you have your own experience as an adult in life and stuff. So looking forward to kind of coming through that and getting peeling more layers from
How you liking the
that
Game of
story.
Thrones?
I like it. It's George R. R. Martin is he's a damn good writer. Like he's a really
Yes, he
good writer.
is.
Like
Yes.
his like not even just like plot wise. I'm just like the like he could have written like Shakespeare. He's a Shakespeare quality
Yeah.
level writer in my
Yeah.
opinion. It's a shame can't finish the fucking series, but
My, so like the thing is that like so I mean spoiler alert, I mean, the show's been off the air for 6 years, but like
right,
it's so well crafted in that like John ends up being the Targaryen, right?
right,
But he writes it so like so Ned is a point of view character in the first book. And so
correct.
he writes it so that like Ned would so you're getting Ned's inner thoughts. And it
Hmm.
would ruin the spoiler, the twist if Ned ever had to like talk about John to someone else. So he
Right.
just never has that come up in the first book. Like because
Hmm.
you're getting all of his inner thoughts, but you don't get his thought about it, the fact that this isn't, you never get like
It's
Caitlyn saying, "You cheated on me, you bitch," and him thinking, "I didn't cheat on you, you just
right,
don't know what I'm protecting you from." Because that's what you would think.
right.
And it, just the way he
She's just
writes
an
it and he
ass.
sets it up to
She's
where
just an
that
asshole
makes
to John for
sense.
no reason.
Correct. And like it's just the way he writes that to where it makes sense is just
Yeah.
it's incredible. And just like the layout of the whole thing is like the first book is introducing you to the world. It's basically a murder mystery. He's trying to figure out
Right.
how John Aaron died
Aaron died.
and
Yep.
and then how Ned died or how the king dies and he finds out the parentage of the Joffrey
Patronage.
and them.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
And like that's just a very easy thing for people to follow who aren't used to high fantasy. It's like it's a
Right.
book. It's a murder mystery. Everyone can follow that. And then he waits to
Yeah.
book two to give you the magic to bring the world out to do
That's
the
smart.
world of the
Yeah.
five kings. And it's just like it's just little bits and pieces. He just introduces you. Like there's not even a Jamie or a Cersei chapter in the first book. It's just
Right.
dead solving a mystery.
They're just a
So
prop family pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah, so I like that a lot. Like it obviously. And I think the good thing is because if I had just gotten the book and had never seen it, I would be really confused because it's like 50,000 characters
Yeah.
and you have no way to you don't have a visual of anybody in your mind. So it'd be really difficult to like
It's much easier to
when I
follow
read
once
book
you have visuals. Like most of the time when I'm
visuals,
reading
yeah, like
fiction, it's better for me to watch the movie first so I can put the
true.
character
Yeah, like
face to the
and
character.
for me, I read books in my mind they play as movies when I'm
Yeah.
reading them. So if I don't have enough description, I can't like I can obviously follow the story, but it's just not as engaging to me if I can't, you know, paint that picture and or direct that movie, so to speak, in my head.
Now, I envy people who can just read a book and just paint the world in their mind. Like I'm not, my brain doesn't work that way. And
Oh, I like
so
have to do
it helps to
it.
have a visual from a movie or something that I've seen before so that I can go back
Mhm.
and attach the characters. But nah, man, those books are long. They're very, very
Yeah,
long.
they're long as fuck.
But
Yep.
and they get tedious after about like A Storm of Swords is the masterpiece. That's where you're
Mhm.
getting uh the Red Wedding, you're getting uh Tywin's death, you're getting
Mhm.
the Joffrey's death, and like book 4 and 5 they kind of George gets a bit
Yeah.
rambly there, but
Yeah. Okay.
so
Okay.
the first three
Um.
are just some of the best reading you'll ever do though. So
Okay. Do you gonna tell the viewers what we're gonna be doing with Game of Thrones, or you want to wait and hold till next Friday?
we I mean we plan on doing a full rewatch recap podcast. We're trying to expand this thing here.
Shout out to
Um
all the Thronies, House of Stark, gang
you know,
gang.
just to do something new, do something different. You
Yeah.
know, so that's the plan. So we'll see. We're building, we're fleshing that out. So.